Good morning. Again, it is an honor to be with you in this hall today, in this vibrant beach city of Bangsaen. Despite this morning heat bearing down upon us, there is something refreshing in coming together by the sea to discuss our shared responsibility for this earth we call home. For those of you who come from outside of Thailand, I think this is where we are right here. Well, the timing of this conference is very important. This is a time when human history recorded as environmental challenges are no longer distant warning, but it is becoming daily realities. I want to begin by acknowledging the respect audience of this gathering today. You are environmental engineers, professors, researchers, and innovators. You are the ones working at the front lines of technology, science, and community design. You are not just building systems, you are building futures. I stand here not as just a speaker, but as a partner who is willing to work the journey with you. Allow me to briefly share where I come from. I'm a lawyer. I have no knowledge whatsoever about science, but I have served as chairman of Bangkok Breathe Council, where we fought against air pollution to reclaim our skies. I was vice chair of the Thai Senate Standing Committees on Natural Resource and Environment. I have served as tourism minister under 3 different administrations. As vice minister for human security and currently a board member of a disaster relief at Royal Foundation. So, altogether, my mission has always been about safeguard human dignity, whether from disasters, inequality, or environmental neglect. Today, we gather under a pressing time. It is a pressing time, a green environment, and a low-carbon society. As the path to sustainable wellness for mankind, I would like to emphasize the word wellness, because that's not just about human survival or human sustainability only, but a thriving condition for people and planet alike. Well, let's acknowledge the current storm of global disruption. At the time of this address, the White House has rocked the world stage by pulling out from the Paris Climate Agreement. The decision came with rhetoric dismissing climate change as a hoax. As Asia is battling intensifying heat waves, droughts, and floods, this denial threaten not only just ecosystems, but international trust. And while that unfolds, trade wars and tariff battle led by the US have put environmental cooperation at risk. Southeast Asian manufacturers of solar panels, particularly in Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia, have been hit by sharp US tariffs. These penalties are not just economic, they disrupt our region's move toward cleaner energy. Factories now sit with vast oversupplies of solar panels that could have powered homes, schools, clinics, and hospitals. But here is where we must innovate. Instead of waiting for a change in trade policy, we can lead change here at home. Let's direct green finance to purchase these solar panels and deploy them strategically, covering canals' waters to reduce evaporation and algae, and installing them on rooftops in urban communities. Many of these rooftops belong to low-income families paying high electricity bills and has nowhere to hide from heat nor dusty air. The picture I show you here are a sample of what many countries are doing. They're not rich countries. That is being taken in Beirut in the Middle East, covering the canals running through Beirut cities. This one is what happened in India when the Indian government started to put solar panel on top of their canals, and they learned that not only that they generate electricity, they also provide shade for housewives, children who can go underneath, hiding from the heat, to bottle their water, and animals, fish, crabs can still stay without heat in the water. Imagine this. If Thailand has a solar farm that stands high across our klongs, where we call it canals, powering nearby homes and cooling the environment at the same time, creating a better breathable space for fish and people. Solar panel high above the thin roof of poor housing blocks, giving families some relief from heat, and at the same time earn some money from the people who invest, for allowing the investors to use the airspace above their neighborhood. That is climate action with social justice at its heart. As we speak of heat, let's not forget that urban temperature in cities like Bangkok and Chonburi here are reaching critical levels. We are pretty fortunate this year with rains coming pretty quickly, pretty early this year, but may not be next year. Heat is going to come sooner and harder. The elderly, therefore, the young and the poor are the first to suffer. As engineers and planners like you, we must respond by designing breathable cities, green corridors, shaded walkways, rooftop gardens, and vertical forests. Clean air must be a right, not a luxury. And let us not forget our oceans. Often enough we speak of emissions in the air, on the ground, but less about what CO2 is doing below the surface of the water. Ocean acidification caused by carbon dioxide dissolving into seawater is silently killing coral reefs, threatening biodiversity and risking the livelihoods of coastal communities, especially fishermen. Here in Bangsaen, a beach city, this threat is not abstract, it's personal. A few years ago, I visited a fisher village in the southern part of Thailand. The villagers showed me mangrove they have planted with their own bare hand after a storm wiped out. And the whole coast was just empty. Then they replanted, and they taught me that recovery is not just about aid. It's not about money. It's about local wisdom. It's about pride. And it's about care for their next generations. I see a lot of next generation here in this room. That spirit can live on in communities up north, in the north of Thailand, building check dams with bare hands also, or students in many parts, like in Rayong, organizing cleanups of beaches and riverbanks. These actions may seem small, but they echo loud. Our transition to a low-carbon society must be guided by science, of course, yes, but also by justice and compassion. We must move faster in investing in renewable, electrifying our transport, and shifting away from fossil fuels. But while we build high-tech system, we must also keep people at the center, and universities and institutions is one of the best places to start. As someone with background in tourism, I've been Minister of Tourism in 3 different administrations. Even tourism must change also. Sustainable tourism is no longer a trend. It's an imperative. If we love a destination, we must protect it. In my time as tourism minister, I saw how unmanaged growth could ruin the very beauty that tourists came to find. Now we must redesign tourism to be part of the solution. Environment degradation is not just about the planet, it is a threat to human security. Floods displace families, and droughts destroy livelihoods. I went up in Chiang Rai earlier last year. After the rainy season, nobody saw it coming when rainfall in Myanmar, not in Thailand, rainfall in Myanmar reached a level where it eroded the hillside. Mudslide happened, and the mud we see here is just knee deep. But before I was there, it was about 2-story high. It's impossible for anyone to live there, and it's happening again this year. So, as former Vice Minister for Human Security, I have seen the human face of climate failure. So it is time we connect our policies. It's a nice idea that we have people to open their booth outside so that people from different areas, from different background, from different business and different scientific knowledge can get together, walk across the hall, exchanging ideas, exchanging knowledge, discuss about future, and perhaps collaboration can happen over the hall. It's time we connect our policies, not treat climate and human development as separate. This is especially important in public health. Rising heat increased the spread of disease. Dirty air increased asthma and heart problems. This is not tomorrow's concern. It is here. It is today's hospital bill. It is today's funeral. It is today's lost potential. But yet, there is still hope. Young people across Asia and the world are rising. They are skipping school not out of laziness, but activism. They remind us that climate change is not only about the next 30 years. Rather, it's about the next 4. As engineers, you can give shape to their dreams. As professors, you can guide their minds. And as leaders, you can move from discussions to implementation. In conclusion, let us remember, the earth does not wait for politics. The ocean does not wait for trade deals, and the heat does not wait for perfect solution. Regardless of how imperfect the solution you are working on, put it on working. Make life better. We can act now. We can build a future that is not only green but also just. A society where innovation meets conclusion. A world where solar panels don't just gather around being dust in warehouse but bring light and wellness to those in unbearable heat, polluted air, and in darkness. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your engineering minds and your environmental hearts. Let's make this decade one of regeneration. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณครับ
Many thanks to our distinguished speaker, Mr. Weerasak Kowsurat, for generously sharing the valuable knowledge and experience on low carbon and sustainability with us today.